I should describe myself. I'm a tough voodoo detective. What am I looking for? Well, if I knew that, I wouldn't need to put out a personal ad. Why did I let my brother talk me into moving here? This town needs saving, he said. Restless spirits, he said. Oh, well, I can't blame them. With all the damn tourists here, I feel pretty restless myself. This town's got all the charm of a burning outhouse. Just my luck. I better poke around for something to help me put this fire out. I've got to find a way to put this fire out before my office burns down. It's a mask representing Baron Samedi, a voodoo demigod. He's the lord of the underworld and one of the most powerful Loa. I like to keep him close. I find it comforting somehow. It's a mask representing Papa Legba, a voodoo demigod. He's one of the most powerful Loa and arbiter between humanity and the spirit realm. There's a hidden switch behind the mask. My seltzer bottle. That fire's about to have a toe tag and a ticket to the big adios. That's better. Voodoo Detective speaking. How may I help you? Yes, that's my real name. No, I don't detect voodoo. I practice voodoo and use hoodoo to detect. It's right on the sign. No problem. Take care. No clients, no dough, and a mountain of bills on my desk. Nice desk, though. If you're from the fire brigade, you're a little late.
Are you Voodoo Detective?
That's my name, unless they changed it while I wasn't looking. What's this about, Miss...
If you don't mind, I'd like to save the introductions for later, Mr. Detective. I have a rather strange case that may be well suited to a man of your talents. That is, if you do voodoo. You do voodoo, don't you?
You don't do voodoo, ma'am. Why don't you come in and sit down and show some respect? Now, suppose you tell me about it from the very beginning.
I need your help, Detective. I need you to find out who I am.
Oh, come on. I swear this never happens. What do you mean, find out who I am? If you're looking for a shrink, that's not really the kind of soul-searching I do.
I mean, I've lost my memory. You may not understand, but it's rather precious to me, and I'd like it recovered.
You lost your memory, huh? Did you check the couch cushions?
Is this some kind of joke to you?
Take it easy, lady. You haven't given me much to work with. Is there anything you do remember?
What are you doing?
Just a little examination.
Oh, okay. This is going to sound strange. I don't know if you'll believe me.
It doesn't matter what I believe. You go on with your story.
Well, the very first thing I remember was standing at a crossroads. I'm not sure where, but it felt somehow both familiar and foreign at the same time. Like the memory of a dream. There was an old man there. He spoke to me.
I believe this belongs to you.
I was confused. I couldn't remember ever having seen the pendant before. In fact, I couldn't remember anything. He seemed to understand.
Don't worry, child. A little sleep and you'll be back to your old self again.
My head started to swim and I blacked out. When I woke, I was lying in a bed I didn't recognize, in a life I didn't recognize. Around my neck was the pendant from my dream, and in my hand, your business card.
I never printed any business cards. You mind if I take a look?
By all means.
Well, that's not normal. So you don't have any idea who you might be?
I've learned, or at least I've been told, that my name is Mary Fontoul. My husband, Victor Fontoul, is the president of Island Ventures. We live in a mansion outside of town with our butler, Benny. We've been married for 10 years, and we're very happy together.
And you don't believe a word of it?
I may have lost my memory, Detective, but I haven't lost my intuition. This woman I'm supposed to be, Mary Fontoul, it's not me.
And what if you're wrong?
Then you'll have made a bit of money, and I'll walk away a confused rich woman.
Why not see a doctor? Why come to me?
Believe me, I've seen all the best doctors money can buy. The popular opinion is that it's stress.
Well, I'm not one to knock the other guy's merchandise, but you could have saved some time coming here first. You said the old man gave you a pendant. Do you have it with you?
Yes, here. If it helps the investigation, please keep it.
The investigation? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I still need more information before I agree to take the case. Let's say I am interested. Do you remember how to use a checkbook?
I can offer you a $200 advance and another $200 on completion, plus expenses. Money's not an issue. Can you help me out? Or do I need to find someone else?
Well, all right, sweetheart. For that kind of cabbage, I'd voodoo investigate most anything. Consider me hired.
Thank you, Detective. I don't mind telling you that comes as a relief to me. Here's the money. I have a good feeling about you.
Save your feelings for book club, honey.
You know, you better keep that shirt buttoned, Detective. I wouldn't want your big old heart falling out.
I'll be careful, Voodoo Dollface. How can I get in touch if I need to talk with you about the case?
If you need me, I'm staying at the Chic Shell Hotel. Please come see me if you make any progress. Oh, and Detective,
Yes?
don't call me Voodoo Dollface.
What a knockout. A dame like that could give a zombie a heart attack, or a voodoo detective a real headache. I better mail my personal ad and then go get my book of voodoo back from Billy. It's a small, unremarkable pendant made of gold. Mary said it was given to her by an old man in a dream. I should see if I can find where it came from. It's the money Mary gave me. I like having books in my office for some light reading. Homer, Aeschylus, Euripides, Aristophanes, Herodotus. Just kidding. They're mostly spy novels. I better grab Grammy's book from Billy's. This radio may be old, but the speaker's got a powerful magnet. When I listen, so do the neighbors. This town has all the charm of a burning outhouse.
One new message. Message 1.
Hey, it's Ronnie, your landlord. I still hadn't received this month's rent from you. You're new in town, so I'm cutting you some slack. But if I have to call you again, I'm not going to be as friendly. Hope to hear from you soon. Thanks.
End of message.
It's my #1 fan. Just grab my coat before I go. It's my office. At least until my checks start bouncing. I'm not talking to any tourists. It's a souvenir shop. Tourist junk. It's a souvenir shop. Tourist junk. That's my brother's bar, Donut Hole Billy's. The last real place on this drag. I'd rather talk to a loaded gun.
These tourists make me appreciate the mosquitoes.
They better not tear this place down, too.
I hardly recognize this town anymore. Well, if it isn't New Guinea's newest detective, what can I do for you, VD?
Any chance I could borrow your mortar and pestle?
The tools of my trade? Would I ask you for your gree-gree and magnifying glass? Or whatever it is voodoo detectives use to voodoo detect? Well, I guess we could make a trade.
What do you have in mind?
I'm running dangerously low on mint leaf. I need it for all the goofy drinks those tourists guzzle down. If you can get me more mint, the mortar and pestle are all yours.
It's been a hell of a day, Ricky. Give me a voodoo fizz and make it kick like a mule with hay fever on Mardi Gras.
You got it. On the house.
Down the hatch. Delicious. I'm working a new case. Mind if I grill you?
Go right ahead, Mr. Detective.
Have you seen this pendant before?
Oh, vintage. Not really my style, but nice piece. Could be an heirloom. Sorry, I've never seen it before.
What can you tell me about Mary Fontoul?
Fontoul? I only know of Victor Fontoul. He owns Island Ventures.
Thanks for the info, Rick.
No problemo.
I need the skinny on some of the locals.
Of course, VD. What do you want to know?
How was my brother Billy doing?
Oh, you know Donut Hole. Still tapping his foot and typing out tunes. I'm sure he's pretty fed up with folks trying to take over his bar, but nothing could shade his shine. He's just his wonderful musical self. Right now, he's in one of his trances. Why don't you see if you can bring him around?
Thanks for the info, Ricky. What do you think of all these tourists?
Well, you know I really can't complain. They bring good business to the bar.
Where did they all come from?
Our quiet little island's become a bit of a hot spot ever since Island Ventures moved in. They set out to commoditize the island experience for package and sale. First it was Island Kitchen, then Island Trader, and now Island Coffee. Sometimes I don't even recognize this town anymore. I don't think they'll stop until this island is just one long line of sweaty tourists shuffling from one island franchise to another. But I can't complain. Like I said, business is good.
What was Zawanga like before they showed up?
Well, there were a lot fewer Hawaiian shirts and a heck of a lot more character. The main drag used to be a colorful collection of cozy shops and local flavor. Now it's just a tidy row of island brand imitation. They turned a rum on the rocks into a virgin pina colada. Even started tearing down old monuments. The most recent victim was a Honfo, where island coffee's going up. Now, people practicing voodoo like you and your brother don't really have a place to worship.
That's enough about tourists. I've got a split. See you around, Ricky. Looks like Billy's got a little offering to Papa Legba here. No use trying to talk to Billy while he's in one of his piano trances. There's got to be a way to snap him out of it. That's my grandmother's book of voodoo. We call her Grammy. She was a legendary mambo. I should really ask Billy before I take it. Never know when you might need a bucket of water. Rise and shine. I guess he's still out of it. Are you kidding? Money doesn't... Are you kidding? Money doesn't grow on trees, you know. No use trying to talk to Billy while he's in one of his pianos. There's got to be a way to snap him out of it. I bet I could find a use for this. This hurts me more than it hurts you, Billy. Still nothing. That's odd. Looks like a metal gauntlet. The sort of medieval knight might wear. Could come in handy, if you'll excuse the pun. What did the 5 metal fingers say to the face? Hey, something fell out of the gauntlet. It's an old harmonica, like the one I used to play with Billy when we were kids. You held on to this for me? After all these years. If I want to get through to him, I need to start speaking his language.
just like old times. Hearing that harmonica always brings me back. What's new, Voodoo?
You mind if I borrow Grammy's book?
Help yourself. But I'm surprised you need it. Must be a real tough case.
This old book comes in handy more often than you'd think. I've got a new case. Mind if I pick your brain?
Go right ahead.
Have you ever seen this pendant?
Sorry, I don't go in for any jewelry foolery. Ricky knows more about that sort of thing. You could ask him for a hot tip while you sip.
Have you ever heard the name Mary Fontoul?
Has my baby brother got eyes for some lovely lady?
It has to do with the case.
Sure, Voodoo. Whatever you say. Wait, Fontoul?
Yeah, Mary Fontoul.
I know a Victor Fontoul. Maybe she's related to him.
She's his wife.
Going after a married woman, eh? Oh, I'm just messing with you. Sorry, I never met her.
That's enough shop talk for now. What's happening, Billy?
Well, shoot, where to begin?
What's with the offering on the piano?
Something ain't swinging right in the spirit realm. I can't lock down the beat. It's all out of tune. The rhythm's wrong. I figured a little spirits for the spirits couldn't hurt.
How have you been?
I'm doing all right, brother, especially since you moved here. Although I wish those Island Ventures vultures wouldn't knock such a steady beat on my door. They keep trying to get their tasteless talons into my business. Already own more than half the town. Oh well, in every life, a little rain must fall. As long as I have occasion to tickle the old ivories, I'm satisfied.
I wanted to ask you about something else.
Lay it on me.
See you around, Billy.
Come back again soon, and don't forget that harmonica of yours. It always brings me back.
chain restaurant, closed for remodeling. Normally, there's a line around the block. This used to be a humfo, a voodoo place of worship. At least until they bulldozed it to make way for island coffee. This radio may be old, but when I listen, I bet I could get that magnet out if I could find something to jimmy this thing open with. Darla ran the old hotel until she rang the checkout bell. There's a bouquet of Centennial Dragonheart plumerias. They're beautiful, but I'm no grave robber.
Let's see. 6 foot, 42 long, but still breathing. What is it that you want?
The name's Voodoo Detective. I'm a voodoo private investigator.
My name is Eartha. I am the mistress of these hallowed grounds.
Good chat. I'll be seeing you, Eartha.
Folks always do, sooner or later.
Out of one hole and into another. Esther, dear, she was a saint. But then she sinned, and now she ain't. Here lies celiac sickly Fred. He choked to death on gluten-free bread. Little Junior's small and rough. He died proving he was tough. Here lies our friend Burning Larry. He played with fire, so now he's buried. The plaque says Crumsford Family Mausoleum. Just another mausoleum. That guy's loaded. It's a bottle of black ink.
I'm sorry, sir, but if you take that ink, other customers won't be able to sign our contracts.
Well, we can't have that.
Hello and welcome to Crumsford Capital. What can I do for you today?
I'm a voodoo private investigator. I was hoping to speak with Mr. Crumsford.
Sorry, sir, Mr. Crumsford, but don't worry.
See you. The door is locked.
Sorry, sir, but don't worry. Excuse me, sir. Only Crumsford Capital account holders are allowed in.
Hey, you keep away from that.
This desk is a little messy, but still. Mr. Lawton?
If you've come for legal services, I'm afraid I can't take on any more clients at the moment.
Actually, my name is Voodoo Detective. Got some questions I was hoping you could...
Absolutely not. I have to finish preparations for an important... Can't you see? Oh, how perfectly inconsiderate. I ought to hold you in contempt. You're just like my wife, Kiki, and her little puppets. Well, I'm not a puppet. I'm a man!
Have you ever seen...
This is a law office. Now please excuse yourself before I'm forced to take...
BC?
I certainly hope...
Legal documents and books. I'd rather be stranded on a desert island than... It's a ventilation shaft. Looks like it runs to the roof. The grill is screwed in place. I can hear someone shuffling paper. The Chic Shell Hotel. Are you a camera-slinging, culture-sapping, self-centered tourist looking to be pampered like a baby? Then you've come to the right place. That fish must like these tourists about as much as I do.
Good day, sir. Checking in?
I'm looking for a woman staying here named Mary Fontoul.
One moment. Yes. We do have a Mary Fontoul staying with us. A shorter woman with brown hair and brown eyes. Came here alone. She's staying in room 203. I believe she's in there, but you need a room key to get upstairs. The Chic Shell Hotel takes our guests private.
You're saying I need a room key to visit a guest?
Like I said, that's why we require a room key to use the elevator. Every hotel guest is given a spare set to loan out to visitors. That way it's up to them who's allowed to visit.
See you.
Good day, sir. What can I do?
I'll take a...
Great. Find yourself a table and I'll be right with you.
Ah, the swimming pool. No better way to spend...
Can I get you anything?
What's on the menu?
Well, let's see. We have our macadamia nut crusted mahi-mahi bites. There's the steamed miso Thai snapper. Our special today is poisson cru, made using deadly fugo fish. For drinks, we have the mighty mango mojito, our marooned martini, and our most popular drink, the Voodoo Wipeout Punch.
How about some grub?
Yes, sir. What would you like?
I'll take the special.
Excellent choice. Bon appetit.
Where'd you get that food?
Why, from our kitchen, of course.
And you just had it in your coat?
They don't call it a dinner jacket for nothing.
Oh, that hit the spot. How about something that...
Certainly.
I'll have a...
Very good. Bon appetit.
Where'd you get that drink?
Why, from...
And you were just carrying it in...
They don't call...
Actually, I think I'm good.
Please let me know if you need anything.
It's the carcass of the fugo fish I worked. Looks like the poison gland's still in there. Don't mind if I do. Greenhouse is locked. I'll need to find a key. Man, this guy's loaded. He got a garden and a zoo.
Good day, sir. How can I help you?
The name is Voodoo Detective. I'm a voodoo private investigator.
Voodoo, you say? What, may I ask, brings you here?
Actually, I'm looking for a Mr. Fontoul. Victor Fontoul. That you?
Oh, no, sir. I'm Benny, his butler. This is the Fontoul residence, but I'm afraid Mr. Fontoul is in a meeting at the moment. Perhaps you could come back another time.
That's all right. I don't mind waiting inside.
Mr. Fontoul should be finished presently.
It's a portrait of a fancy man. Empty. Looks like Benny Boy's been drinking more sherry than the Queen. I think it's Leopold. Opera records and romance novels. There's also handwritten sheet music. It says Benny and the Jest. A ballad about how my love life has been one grand joke. There's a letter here addressed to Benny. Tear stains have blotted out some of the words. Benny, you have to stop. I don't know what he would do if he found... Besides, I can't just forget the way you treated me. I don't know what you're getting at. Hoodoo, you're scaring me. I'd like to remain friends, but you have to stop. Sincerely, I wonder if Mary wrote this. Hoodoo for butlers. A couple of chapters are bookmarked. Love spells and mind manipulation. What have you been up to, Benny, old pal?
Mr. Fontoul should be...
Listen, you old pit viper. I've stuck my neck out for you financing this new factory of yours.
All right. Calm yourself, dear boy. No need to get excited.
Well, if I'm excited, it's your fault. Quid pro quo, Victor, you slippery worm. I don't like all this cloak and dagger nonsense.
Just a little professional discretion, Gordon. We don't want anyone stealing our recipes, do we?
Discretion? I don't care a fig for your discretion. I care about what's being done with my money.
Be at ease, my friend. I'll explain it all at the shareholders' meeting. For now, please trust that things are progressing on schedule and as planned.
don't like being left in the dark, Victor. I don't like it at all. You'd better have some answers next time we meet.
Sir, a voodoo detective is here to see you.
A detective?
Voodoo Detective, Mr. Fontoul. I was hoping we could talk.
I see. Well, why don't you join me in my office?
Looks like a wedding photo.
Ah, what a happy day that was. Bloom of the peach, blush of the berry, my sweet, sweet Mary.
Right. You've got quite the collection here. I don't even know what most of this stuff is.
Ah, yes. Those are from the... I used to travel all over the world, collecting bits and bobs from hither and yon. I find different cultures completely fascinating. It's a bit of a hobby.
It's a map of a place called Ventures Island.
That's right. Island Ventures has big plans for Ventures Island.
Lots of elegant leather-bound books. Just the kind you expect in a fancy office.
A reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies. The man who never reads lives only one.
Nothing compliments a hot day like a roaring fire.
Except perhaps a trench coat?
You've got quite the collection. I don't even know.
Ah, yes. I find... I do apologize for the excitement out there. When in business, one must deal with all sorts of people. Especially when you require funding.
What was that argument about?
Well, Island Ventures' subsidiary, Island Kitchen, is preparing to launch a new line of food. I'm holding the cards pretty close to my chest to avoid any leaks. Gordon doesn't like that. But surely that has nothing to do with why you've come to see me. Unless you, too, wish to inquire about the particulars of our new secret recipes?
I'm here on behalf of my client, your wife.
Mary? My God, I've been worried sick. Is she all right? She'd been acting like a completely different person, and then she just up and left.
I've got some questions about your wife.
Please, go ahead.
Was Mary spending time with anyone new prior to her memory loss?
Not that I know of. My work requires frequent travel, and Mary always insists on joining me. Couple that with a proclivity for solitude, and she isn't left with much opportunity to make new acquaintances. At least none that I would be unaware of.
Does Mary have any close friends?
Mary keeps largely to herself, but she does visit with my nephew's wife on occasion. Her name is Kiki Lawton.
Do you know how I can reach Mrs. Lawton?
I know Kiki and Mary often enjoy brunch together at the Chic Shore restaurant. You might try there.
What do you know about Mrs. Lawton?
Kiki is the wife of my nephew, Theodore, but I'm afraid I don't know her very well.
If you don't mind, I've got other questions. Do you know of anyone who would want to harm Mary?
Heavens, no. Everyone loves Mary. She's kind and good. She never bothers anyone. A mind would have to be truly unhinged to harm a sweet, delicate flower like Mary.
What do you know about Mary's past?
I'm afraid very little. I know both of Mary's parents died when she was young, and she has no siblings. But she doesn't like to talk about her past, and I don't wish to reopen old wounds.
Mary was given this pendant around the time she lost her memory. Look familiar?
Why, yes. She brought it to me shortly after her memory trouble began. We never were able to find out where it came from. Do you think it has anything to do with her amnesia?
I don't know yet. That's enough about your wife for now. Do you mind if I ask some personal questions?
Go right ahead.
You've amassed quite the fortune. Got any greedy-eyed next of kin looking for a slice of inheritance pie?
No, nothing like that. The only family I have aside from Mary is my nephew, Theodore Lawton. He runs a law practice downtown and works as my lawyer.
And if you and Mary were out of the picture, he would stand to inherit quite a lot of lettuce, right?
Are you suggesting that Theodore is trying to kill my wife?
I'm not suggesting anything, just exploring possibilities. Do you know of anyone who might want to do you harm? Someone who might go after your wife to get to you?
In business, one has many competitors. And of course, if you're successful, there are bound to be those who look on with covetous eyes. But business is about optimizing profit, Detective, and there is no profit in harming a man's wife.
That's enough about you for now. Can you let me into the greenhouse?
My butler, Benny, manages the grounds here. You'll have to ask him about it. Though he has become a bit more particular about whom he lets in since his tiff with the local barman.
That's all for now.
Godspeed, Detective.
Well, if it isn't Benny the butler.
Hello, Detective. What can I do for you?
What can you tell me about Mrs. Fontoul?
Mary is a good woman. She's always been generous to me. She used to sit for hours with that kind, blank stare of hers, listening to my opera when no one else would. It was unlike her to leave the way she did. I've been so worried. I do hope she's all right.
Did you notice anything strange about Mary before she lost her memory?
Not that I can recall. She seemed every bit her normal, quiet self. Completely imperturbable, as though a veil of calm separated her from the troubles of the world.
Did Mary start spending time with anyone new prior to her memory loss?
I don't think so. She only really spent time with Mr. Fontoul and her friend, Kiki Lawton. And myself, of course, the dear.
Do you know of anyone who would want to harm Mary?
No, I don't. Mary never hurt or offended anyone. Frankly, she didn't interact with all that many people to begin with.
I've got this gold pendant here. Have you ever seen it?
Sorry, no.
If you don't mind, I have a few other questions. What can you tell me about Mr. Fontoul?
Mr. Fontoul is a beneficent gentleman. I can make no complaints about the time I've spent working under his employ. Even if I could, it's not a butler's place to say such things.
Do you live here?
Why, yes. My quarters are adjacent to the staircase.
Can you let me into the greenhouse?
I'm afraid not. The Fontoul greenhouse represents a spectacular botanical achievement. The variation in provenance among the flora we cultivate requires careful attention. The only way to maintain precise control over the environment is to limit the number of visitors we allow in. That's why I'm the only one with a key. I am sorry.
I got this letter here addressed to you.
Where did you get that? Have you been in my room?
This looks awfully bad, Benny boy. A letter from someone who doesn't appreciate your attentions. A book of hoodoo in your room. And Mary Fontoul wakes up without her memory. Care to explain?
You have been in my room. Mr. Detective, I resent what you're insinuating, and I absolutely cannot abide you invading my privacy. I have nothing but respect and admiration for Mary Fontule. She's my dear friend, and one of the few people to show interest in my opera. I will speak no more on the matter.
Thanks, Penny. The desk is empty. Nice woodwork, though. Greenhouse is locked. The grill is screwed in place. I can hear some...
You don't smell like a man of business.
Nice place you got here, Mac. Though I prefer something a little more modest, like the Chrysler Building.
Who are you, and what do you want?
The name's Voodoo Detective. I'm a voodoo private investigator.
Ah, yes. I know who you are. You're Donut Hole Billy's brother. If you care for him, you should advise him to sell me his pathetic excuse for a business.
I'm looking into what happened to Mary Fontule.
What do you mean? What's happened to her?
Someone's wiped her memory. Dame's got the recall of a senile goldfish swimming in a martini.
So, Victor hired a private investigator to figure out why his wife finds him so forgettable. I could have sniffed that out for him.
Actually, Mary's the one who hired me. I was hoping you could answer some questions.
I see. Very well, Detective. I'll hear your questions, but make it quick.
I've got some questions about the Fontules. What can you tell me about Mary Fontule?
I don't know her very well. Our brief interactions are entirely a consequence of my business dealings with her dreadful husband. She always seems like a nice enough woman, which raises the question. What is she doing married to that cretin?
Do you know why anyone would want to hurt Mary?
Mary? No. However, it isn't terribly difficult to invent reasons to harm her husband. Perhaps someone's gone after the goose to get the gander. Of course, now we're building pyramids of surmise on a foundation of ignorance.
What do you have against Victor Fontule? He seems like a decent man.
He's an abysmal human being, a cold brain divorced from any heart. You've known him only briefly. I've been working with the man for years. Give it time. You may see things my way.
I've got other questions. Have you ever seen this pendant before?
I have not, though I would gladly have it appraised. It may be of some value. Come to think of it, that pendant does look familiar. I can't place it, though.
Smell you later, big guy. That's a nice desk you got there. Beautiful, really.
How did you get into my office?
That must be Crumsford Sr.
Ah, yes. I like to think old Peepaw is watching over me. Hey, what do you think you're... You stay away from my file!
Oh no, this doesn't look good at all. Congreve's inflammable powders is down 30%, and the Baltimore Opera Hat Company isn't looking much better.
Hello there, handsome. Looking for someone?
Not anymore.
Oh, it's like that, is it?
You wouldn't happen to know anyone named Kiki Lawton, would you?
As a matter of fact, I do. Better hold on to your hat, because she's the devilish darling you're gabbing with, Mr.
Detective. Voodoo Detective. Pleased to meet you, Mrs. Lawton.
The pleasure's all mine, Detective. And you can call me Kiki.
Dining alone?
Why do you ask? Looking for a date?
Maybe I am.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint. I'm expecting company, and my brand of entertainment is best suited for an audience of one.
Are you staying at the hotel?
I certainly am. I find it a welcome respite. Domestic life can be so drab. Wouldn't you agree?
I wouldn't know.
Count your blessings.
I was hoping I might run into my client. You wouldn't happen to have seen her. Goes by the name Mary Fontoul. Female, attractive, about 5'5". Looks like a little lost lamb that forgot the way home.
Who did you say you were again?
Bo Peep.
Well, I do know Mary, but she never mentioned a tall drink of water like you.
If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a few questions about her.
What do you want to know?
Mary's lost her memory. I'm trying to find it.
Lost her memory? The same thing happens to me around 5 o'clock every evening.
Do you know if Mary started spending time with anyone new recently?
She hasn't mentioned anyone to me.
Did Mary ever talk about her past?
Not once. Mary never volunteered personal information. And I guess I never asked. I'm not one to dig up the past once it's buried.
Have you ever seen this pendant before?
I can't say that I have. Not very elegant, is it? Why do you ask? Oh, I know. It must be evidence from one of your cases. Is that it? Was it stolen? Or perhaps it was cursed. You did say Voodoo Detective, right? Oh, how delicious.
Settle down, Mrs. Lawton. No need to get excited. It's just a necklace. Do you know anyone who would want to harm Mary?
Well, her husband is quite wealthy. I'm sure there are plenty of less fortunate islanders who might resent her wealth. You know, eat the rich and all. But I'm speaking in generalities now. These people might feel the same way about anyone with 2 pennies to rub together.
Have you noticed Mary acting strange recently?
Mary? God, no. She's as reliable a friend as any I've ever had. Such a good listener. Always quiet, non-judgmental, slowly nodding to let you know she's there for you. And those stony black eyes of hers are so beautiful, like glazed obsidian.
Black eyes?
She's just lovely. An absolute doll.
I've got other questions. I've got more leads to chase down. Gotta blow.
See you around, Detective.
Good day, sir. Checking in?
Can I get a room?
Ordinarily, yes, but I'm sorry to say we're all booked up.
How about if I ask real nice? Will you let me upstairs?
I'm sorry, sir. I can't let you upstairs if you're not a guest.
See you. Tourists. can't stand to.
Good day, sir.
Yep.
Great. I'll just need to see.
I don't have a key. Would a couple clams change your tune?
Sir, are you trying to bribe me?
You catch on pretty quick.
My job is worth more to me than a...
How about the whole chowder?
Not this elevator driver.
I'm
sorry, sir. We require anyone.
On.
Well,
I'm working a new.
Go right.
Do you know anything about Victor Fontoul?
Sure, I know him. He and Gordon Crumsford, the banker, are always pestering poor Billy to sell the bar. Thank goodness he won't. I could never work for one of those tacky Island Ventures abominations.
Thanks for the info.
No problemo.
I need the skinny on.
Of course, VD.
What do you know about the banker, Gordon Crumsford?
Oh, him. He and Victor Fontoul are always pestering poor Billy to sell the bar.
Do you know anything about the lawyer on Main Street?
Yeah, he does all of Island Ventures' illegal laundry. If I were you, I'd keep my distance. That weasel's liable to bite.
Have you ever met Kiki Lawton?
Is she related to Theodore Lawton?
His wife.
I see. Well, if she's anything like her husband, I'd steer clear. Some kinds of dirty don't wash off with water.
What's the story with Benny the butler?
Oh, that old so-and-so? Yeah, I used to mix in with him. It was nice to have a little zest for a while, but the twist is he thought it was going to be something more. Things got muddled and I had to get tough. Our relationship ended up on the rocks. He was pretty shaken up. Still, I hope he's doing all right.
I found this letter in Benny's room. Lots of tears on it. Is it from you?
Tears? Oh dear, that poor boy. Listen, VD, can you do me a favor? Can you give this to him? I don't like how we left things. I didn't mean to hurt him.
What's the story with Benny the...
Did you...
Not yet. Thanks for the... I've got a split. See you...
What's new, Voodoo?
I've got a new case. Mind if I pick your brain?
Go right ahead.
What do you know about Victor Fontoul?
I don't know much about him personally, but he and Gordon Crumsford own a company called Island Ventures. They keep trying to take over the bar. I always tell them the same thing. I'm not selling.
Can you tell me anything about Gordon Crumsford?
The banker? I'm not a fan. Born under a bad sign, if you ask me. A dollar sign, the money-grubbing glutton. He's one of those Island Ventures fat cats who keep trying to take over my bar. They want to pull the piano right out from under me. I always tell them the same thing. I'm not selling.
What do you think of that lawyer on Main Street?
I don't know about him, but I know his wife, Kiki. She swills cheap spill at the Chic Shore restaurant.
That's enough shot. See you around.
Come back again.
Ricky gave me this letter to deliver to Benny. I guess you can call me Voodoo Courier now. Well, if it isn't Benny the butler.
Hello, Detective. What can I do for you?
I spoke with Ricky. He asked me to give you this letter.
Oh, Ricky. Thank you, Detective. This means a lot to me. If there's anything I can do to repay the favor, just let me know.
Can you let me into the greenhouse?
Well, normally I'd say no, but you've been so kind to me. Here, take this. It's the key to the greenhouse.
Thanks, Benny. Thanks for the key, Benny. Nice flowers. You can never have too many lemons. It's a bird of paradise. Top two shelves hold all sorts of flowers. The bottom shelf has aloe, orchid, fiddle leaf, fig, and mint. Looks like I'll be getting that mortar and pestle after all. Fruits and veggies. This place has it all. I see a white candle and I want it painted black. The grill is, I can hear. I need to find out who gave Mary that pen.
Well, if it isn't New Guinea...
Any chance I could borrow your mortar and pestle?
Like I said, I'll trade you for some mint leaf. Got any?
I've got your mint right here.
Wow, you found some. Thanks, VD. I was about to run out. You're a lifesaver. You have yourself a trade. The mortar and pestle are yours.
I need the skinny on some of the locals.
Of course, VD. What do you want to know?
What's the story with Benny the butler?
Benny and I had a chance to speak. Things are better now. Thanks, VD.
Thanks for the I've got a split. See you around, Ricky. It's a souvenir shop. Tourist. Just a bunch of cheap tourist junk. They put the candy where the kids can see. It's a dirty game. It's a souvenir screwdriver. There's a tiny inscription on the side. I went to Zawanga and all I got was screwed.
Funny and functional.
I'll take it.
Thanks for shopping at Island Trader, where all your trades come true.
Suntan lotion. My hat and coat keep me covered. It's a camera.
A real beauty, too. I can tell you the image quality is truly remarkable. Plus, we developed the photos right here.
I'll take it.
Great! Thanks for shopping at Island Trader. There's nothing we won't trade for your business.
I'm not shelling out any cash for that. This shirt says, Zawanga, sweet Zawanga. Zawanga, zo problems. Zowabunga. Nuganeen, who dis? It takes Zo to Wanga. Zawanga, zo problems. Zowabunga.
Welcome to Island Trader. Please let me know if I can get anything for you.
I'm just gonna look around.
Go right ahead, sir.
The magnet came right out. Here's my lemon zest. This black candle should work. I think this qualifies as lodestone. I think that's it. The owner-honer mixture is ready to use. Looks like the spell worked. I can feel the pendant pulling me somewhere. Pendant is pointing at this old mausoleum. Plaque says, Lamoon family. It's locked. There are fresh footprints leading inside. Someone must have been here recently.
What is it that you want?
Can you let me into the Lamoon mausoleum?
I am a grave digger, not a crypt keeper. I don't have a key.
Well, who's got it then?
Try Gordon Crumsford. He owns this cemetery. I merely fill it with corpses.
I saw footprints leading into the Lamoon mausoleum. Have you seen anyone going in or out of there?
Perhaps I did. Perhaps I didn't. My mind's a little misty.
All right, Eartha. What's it gonna take?
Very little interests me beyond tending to the dearly departed, but I have had my eye on one of those new island brand shovels. Bring one to me, and it may resurrect my memories.
Good chat.
Folks always do, sooner or later.
Welcome to Island Trader, an authorized dealer of island...
I was told you guys sell a very special shovel here.
You must be referring to the upcoming release of our new line of island shovels.
That sounds about right. I'd like one.
You and me both. They're not out yet.
What do I have to do to get one early?
You'd have to get approval from my boss, Mr. Fontoul. Good luck with that, though. He's pretty strict about new product releases.
I'm just gonna look.
Go right ahead.
Hello again, Detective. Any news about Mary?
Does the name Lamoon ring any bells?
Well, yes, I knew the Lamoon family well.
All right, you better spill.
What does this have to do with the case?
The pendant Mary was given belonged to one of the Lamoons.
Good Lord. The Lamoons owned a local gumbo restaurant that we acquired in exchange for a substantial stake in Island Kitchen. Gordon and I worked closely with Francois and Esmeralda to integrate their recipes into our menu. It was an exciting but difficult time.
How so?
Exciting because the Lamoon recipes drove a new wave of popularity for Island Kitchen. Difficult because Gordon had become infatuated with Francois's wife, Esmeralda. It made for rather awkward business meetings.
So what happened then?
Well, about a year after the acquisition, Esmeralda and her daughter, Genevieve, washed up on the beach, having drowned. Such an appalling tragedy.
So what? Mother and daughter forgot how to doggy paddle?
Well, yes. The official police report deemed it a swimming accident.
Why do you think someone would want Mary to have a pendant from the Lamoon family?
That, Detective, is the one question I truly have no answer for. What in the world has the tragic Lamoon family tale to do with my Mary? If you figure that out, please let me know.
What happened to Francois?
As you know, Esmeralda and Genevieve died. As far as I'm aware, Francois went missing around the same time. He wasn't present for the official inquest into his family's demise.
So you're saying he could still be out there?
It's possible he's still alive, yes. But if he was with his family when they drowned, it's more likely his body was simply never recovered.
You don't sound like you buy the official story. Let's hear your version.
I don't like to speculate without proof.
Humor me. I won't quote you.
Well, despite my personal difficulties working with Gordon, I hate to cast aspersions on the fellow out of hand. It's just that he always carried a torch for Esmeralda Lamoon. And as I said, it made for rather awkward business meetings. Things only seemed to grow worse over time. In my view, it made him unstable.
What exactly are you saying here, Mr. Fontoul? You think Gordon killed Esmeralda and Genevieve?
Oh, no. That seems extreme.
And yet here we are. I asked you what you think really happened, and you tell me how crazy your business partner can get. What's a detective to think?
Perhaps I shouldn't have said anything. Saying it out loud, it seems far-fetched. Forget I mentioned it.
That's enough about the Lamoon family for now. The Island Trader shopkeep told me I needed your approval to buy the new Island brand shovel.
Ah, yes. I'm very excited about that one. However, as a rule, I prefer to confine our new product releases to a specific date. Is there a good reason you need the shovel right now?
It has to do with your wife's investigation.
It does? Well, then why didn't you say so? If you think a new shovel can help bring my Mary back to me, then of course you may have one. I'll have the shopman set one aside for you.
Thanks, Vic. That's all.
Godspeed.
Well, if it...
Hello, Detective.
Thanks, Penny.
If it isn't...
I'm working a new case. Mind if I grill you?
Go right ahead, Mr. Detective.
Have you ever heard the name Lamoon?
Well, there used to be a gumbo restaurant. Yeah, I think that was run by the Lamoon family. I didn't know them personally.
Thanks for the
No problem.
I've got a split. See you around, Ricky.
What's new, Voodoo?
I've got a new case. Mind if I pick your brain?
Go right ahead.
Does the name Lamoon mean anything to you?
Lamoon? You mean that old gumbo shop? They closed down before I got a chance to try it. Heard it was tasty, though.
That's a... See you...
Come back again.
Welcome to Island. Local goods at...
I believe you have a shovel for me.
Ah, you must be Mr. Detective. I've got your shovel right here.
I'll take it.
A trade's a trade, and our trade is your happiness.
What is it that you want?
Here you go, Eartha. If anyone asks, you didn't get it from me.
Oh, this is excellent, my darling. I'll be the talk of the tombs. It has the logo and everything.
You just wanted the sticker?
Yes.
Right. Well, maybe now you can tell me who was snooping around the Lamoon mausoleum.
It was that lousy little lawyer. Something about that guy gives me the creeps.
You mean Lawton?
Yes, spooky fellow.
I saw footprints.
It was that lousy little...
You mean...
Yeah.
Good check.
Folks all...
Managed to get the grill off, but my screwdriver broke. Cheap Island brand garbage. If I could fit in there, I'd have front row seats to the counselor's crooked cabaret. But I either need to shrink or find someone a little more petite to help me out. I think it's time to pay a visit to my client.
I told you. God, you don't listen.
I've got a surprise witness, counselor. Eartha the Gravedigger saw you visit the Lamoon mausoleum.
That is a bold accusation. I think you should leave.
So, we're going to do this the hard way, huh?
I don't like you.
Well, I bet with a little leverage, I could pry my way into your heart. Be seeing you.
I certainly hope not.
The Chic Chef. Are you a camera? You've come to the right place.
Good day, sir.
Can I get a room?
Ordinarily, yes, but I'm sorry to say...
I'm looking for a...
One moment. Yes. A shorter woman with brown hair and brown eyes came... She's staying in room 203, but you need a room... The Chic Shell Hotel...
How about if I...
I'm sorry, sir.
See you. I'm not talking to any tour...
Hello again, Detective. Couldn't...
Does the name Lamoon mean anything to you?
Lamoon? No, I've never heard the name. Why, who is that?
That pendant I showed you was given to Mary around the time she lost her memory. I traced it back to the name Lamoon.
Sorry, the name?
The Lamoons owned a small gumbo restaurant that was acquired by Island Ventures. They worked with Mary's husband.
Then you might want to ask him about it, darling.
I found out your husband was padding around the Lamoon mausoleum. Left his footprints all over my case. Care to comment?
And here I am, thinking he can't leave the office because of work. Did you ask him about it?
Well, I've tried, but he keeps giving me the old 86.
I'd act surprised, but I know how single-minded and selfish he can be. He has the gall to accuse me of neglecting him while he goes gallivanting about town, telling me he's at the office. Apparently, I need to be a corpse for him to pay me a visit. The liar. Frankly, I think my workaholic husband has been cheating.
You don't say.
You want information on the Lamoons, yes? If Theodore was at their mausoleum, they may have been clients of his. And it just so happens I have access to all of his files.
Let me guess. I scratch your back, you scratch mine? Sound about right?
Bring me evidence of my husband's late-night cheating, and I'll give you all the access you want to his files. I'm staying in the honeymoon suite. Here's my room key, in case there's anything you'd like to report. Now, if you wouldn't mind, darling, I'm expecting company.
Good day, sir. Going up?
Yep.
Great. I'll just need to see your room key before I can take you upstairs.
Here's that room key you demanded.
Fantastic. Step right in.
Who is it?
Voodoo Detective.
Oh, hello, Detective.
Sorry.
Well, please keep looking. You'll have to excuse me. I have a guest to entertain.
Who is it?
Santa Claus, open up.
The North Pole's up another floor. But I guess you can come in anyhow.
Looks like you've been busy.
There's not much to do around here, so I thought I'd do a little investigating of my own.
That's a beautiful desk.
Thank you? I'd been hoping you'd show up. What have you got for me?
How you doing?
Oh, just dandy. Isn't it every girl's dream to hole up in a hotel room because her mind's been erased? You really ought to try it sometime.
Hang in there, Mary. I've been looking into that pendant. Does the name Lamoon ring any bells?
None that I can hear. Why?
The trail goes cold at the Lamoon family mausoleum.
Well, what does that mean?
It means I get to use the word exhume in a sentence. I got some info on the Lamoons. Their names were Francois, Esmeralda, and Genevieve. Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear, respectively. They owned a small gumbo restaurant a few years back that was acquired by Island Ventures. From what I gather, about a year after the Lamoons sold their gumbo joint, the mother and daughter turned up dead, drowned in some sort of accident. The father up and vanished.
And that pendant led you to the Lamoon family mausoleum. So where does that leave us?
I'm not sure yet, but I'll keep digging, so to speak. Victor implicated Gordon Crumsford in the Lamoon family tragedy. Says Gordon was gaga for Esmeralda, but she wasn't interested in what he was selling. He lost his temper, and they lost their lives. At least according to Victor. He and Gordon don't seem to get along too well.
You've met Crumsford. Does he strike you as a violent man?
The investigation's still open, Voodoo Dollface. I have more leads to follow up on before I'm ready to draw any conclusions. That's all I've got on the Lamoons for now. Get this. Gordon Crumsford owns the cemetery.
You think that's relevant to my case? Or are we just gossiping now?
I can't say for sure. I thought it was interesting. I think I've got a lead.
Oh, good. What did you find out?
Looks like Theo Lawton, the local ambulance chaser, has been poking around the Lamoon mausoleum.
Do you think he has something to do with my case?
I don't know, but he's awfully tight-lipped for a man with nothing to hide. I just need to find a way to get this lawbird to squawk.
Please, let me know if I can help.
How'd you like to get some fresh air?
I get the feeling you're not inviting me for an evening stroll.
I could use your help getting information from Lawton, but it might be dangerous.
I'm in.
You haven't even heard what the job is.
I want to help. This is my case, after all. So, what are we going to do? Kill a chicken on his grandmother's grave? Slip a mojo in his coffee? Ooh, curse a crocodile and take its teeth?
We're gonna take pictures of him cheating on his wife.
Voodoo pictures?
It's not that kind of job, sweetheart.
You know, so far, you haven't really lived up to your name. Oh well, an excuse to escape this claustrophobic hotel room. I can't stand being confined to close quarters. What do you need?
I need you to climb into a ventilation shaft.
My, what a glamorous profession you have. So when are we doing this?
Meet me on the roof of Lawton's law office at sundown. And you might want to wear pants.
Keep the fashion tips to yourself, Trenchcoat. I'll be there. This is kind of exciting. I've never been on a stakeout.
How would you know if you had?
I suppose you're right. I could have been a spy before all this. I wonder how many sunsets have been stolen from me.
Don't worry, kid. We'll get whoever's responsible.
Right. Well, I've got the camera. I'm gonna see what I can see.
I think we ought to wait a little.
Grab my legs, Voodoo.
Wait, hold on. Kid's got more backbone than an anaconda.
I've got you this time, husband. Full house.
Oh dear, you do make a compelling case. Hey, what's that behind you?
Where? I don't see anything.
I thought I saw your mother. Sorry, sweetie, it must have been my imagination.
You're not getting out of this that easily. Now, show me your hand.
Royal flush.
Ugh, you've got to be kidding me.
Better luck next time, sweetheart.
Well, how'd it go?
He's a cheater, all right. Here, I think I got what we need.
You did good, Voodoo Dollface.
Did you expect any less?
I'll go get these developed at Island Trader.
Let me know how this all turns out. I'm headed back to the hotel. This was fun.
I need these developed.
No problem. One moment. Here you go. Thanks for choosing Island Trader, where the trade winds always blow your way.
Cold, hard evidence. A lawyer's best friend. Or worst nightmare. Voodoo Detective. We met at the pool.
Oh, hello, Detective. Have you learned anything new about my husband?
Yeah, I got some news.
Well, come in and tell me about it. You think I don't know about your cheating? Not now, darling.
Well, what do you know? She really is a manipulative puppet master. I don't want to bother him. I feel like I'm already intruding on something personal.
When are you coming home? I told you, What have you got for me, Detective?
I've got the goods, honey. Black and white, 8x10, full gloss freedom fodder. The stuff divorce dreams are made of.
Well, don't keep me waiting, darling. Let's see them. Aha! I knew it, that cheating swine. I'll have him on a platter for this. Thank you, Detective. I'll make sure my husband's office is unlocked. You can rifle through any files you wish. Now, if you don't mind, I have a performance to finish.
I should go search law.
What is it now? I'm a very busy man, Detective.
I heard it through the grapevine that you own the cemetery.
Indeed I do. Death and taxes. I can't collect the latter. I can certainly profit from the former.
Can you let me into a specific mausoleum?
I'm afraid not. Only the families of the interred are allowed keys to their mausoleums. It's entirely up to them what they do with their dead.
Does the name Lamoon mean anything to you?
Yes. I knew the Lamoons.
Then make like a clumsy barista and spill the beans.
They were a family of three. The father, Francois, the daughter, Genevieve, and the mother, Esmeralda Lamoon. May she rest in peace. They owned a local gumbo restaurant that was acquired by Island Ventures. Thus, I knew them through my business dealings with Victor.
What do you know about Genevieve Lamoon?
She was a child. What more is there to say? Just another seed that never had the opportunity to sprout.
What do you know about Francois Lamoon?
Personally, I found Francois to be a noisome bore, a crude man with a primitive mind. How he managed to win a treasure as pure and wonderful as Esmeralda, I'll never comprehend.
What about Esmeralda Lamoon?
My dear Esmeralda, a bouquet of a woman. Her smile was serene, her heart was kind, her temperament mild, and her cooking was an intimation of divinity. I won't lie, Detective. I loved Esmeralda. Always from afar, but I loved her.
You make it sound like the Lamoons are all dead.
Esmeralda and Genevieve are dead, yes. According to the papers, they drowned. But we don't know what happened to Francois.
According to the papers, I take it you have your own theory?
Well, you already know Victor acquired the Lamoon family restaurant to help launch Island Kitchen, yes? What you might not be aware of is how the Lamoons were compensated. Overcompensated, in fact. Victor made no effort to conceal that he was grossly displeased with the situation. Over time, the man's mind seemed to fray. He became distant and cold in the presence of the Lamoon family. That is, until they were no longer around.
So you think Victor killed the Lamoons? What, to get back control of the company?
Well, yes, control, but it was also about money. With the Lamoons out of the picture, Victor became a much wealthier man. You may well ask if money was motive enough for murder. I would argue that men have killed for less. And if you knew Victor as I know him, well, you'd have a much shorter list of suspects.
I asked Victor about the Lamoons too. He had an interesting take on things.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Victor seems to think you killed the Lamoon family in a fit of jealousy for Esmeralda. Sound about right?
I should destroy that man and staunch the endless flow of fetid vitriol that spills from his disgusting mouth. Why in the world would I kill the woman I love? There's no substance to these wicked indictments, and if you believe them, you're an even bigger fool than you look.
I've got other questions. That's enough. This desk is a little messy, but still. Let's see here. Lamoon. Ah, here it is. There's a key and a receipt for a Chelmsford Capital Bank account. It's empty. Let's just see if that key I got from Lawton works. Esmeralda Lamoon, September 21st, 1887 to July 8th, 1924. The lid of the coffin is askew. So the pendant belonged to a dead woman. But what do the Lamoons have to do with Mary? There's more missing from this case than just my client's memory. Genevieve Lamoon. September 9th, 1909 to July 8th, 1924. This must be Esmeralda and Francois's daughter. Just a kid. Lester Lamoon, February 7th, 18. Lamont Lamoon, July 11th. Loretta Lamoon, August 2nd. Lila Lamoon, May 25th, 1799 to March.
Hello, and
You got an...
we sure do! Crumbsford Capital is here to service all your... Also, any account you open comes with a complimentary safe deposit box.
You convinced me. I'd like to open a bank account.
That's wonderful news. To open an account, you'll need an executive approval form.
Where did you say I can get it?
You'll have to get...
Actually, see you. It's a receipt for a Crumbsford Capital bank account. I guess the Lamoons had an account there. It says their safe deposit box number is 203.
What is it now?
Would you be willing to give me an executive approval form? I'd like to open a bank account.
Crumbsford Capital is a prestigious institution that caters only to a small pool of elite clients. The only way we're able to maintain a rigorous quality of service is by keeping that pool small. So I'm sorry, Detective, but I'm afraid the answer is no. As long as my eyes remain open to watch over these gilded halls, the approval forms will remain safely nestled in the drawers of my filing cabinet.
You seem to eat a lot of chocolate, Mr. Crumbsford.
Yes, I'm afraid I'm rather addicted to it. I can never say no to a box of Chortle's chocolate truffles, especially when I'm upset.
You don't say.
Damn, I've run out.
That's enough for...
Hello.
See.
Welcome to Island Truck. Please let me know.
Do you carry Chortle's chocolate truffles?
We sure do. And you're in luck. I've got our last box right here behind.
Ring them up for me, will you?
You got it.
A little fugo goes a short way towards a long nap. Hey, Crumbsford, I brought you something.
What's that you got? Is that a box of Chortle's chocolate truffles?
A token of my appreciation for being so cooperative.
Well, it's awfully kind of you, Detective. Thank you. Delicious.
looks like he's out cold. It really... Well, looky here. An executive approval form. For a man with so much money, he sure looks unhappy, even in his sleep. I wonder if any nuanced philosophies could be drawn from that observation.
Hello.
I'm ready. Here's that form you...
Fantastic. From now on, you can sleep soundly. You also now have access to your own. All I need is a short 6-digit passcode for the combination lock. I recommend something memorable, perhaps an important... Great! You're all set. Just let me know anytime you'd like to visit your safe deposit box. Here's a receipt confirming the creation of your new account. You can find your safe deposit box number there, too. We're so happy you decided to... Just let me know if I can...
I'd like to...
Fan...
It's safe deposit box number 2. That did it. Genevieve's birthday. There's a journal. Let's see what we have here. The Journal of Francois Lemoon. June 28th, 1924.
Esmeralda and I went to Island Kitchen today to share a cup of Lemoon Gumbo. Delicious as always, but something is different. I shall go to the factory to investigate.
June 29th, 1924.
Mon Dieu! They have defiled our recipe. It has been contaminated. I cannot allow this to continue. I must speak with Victor.
July 2nd, 1924. It's just a crude drawing of a muscular chef with a gun. July 5th, 1924.
Victor told me today that the recipe had been altered without his permission. He told me he would summon the board of directors. It looks like we will have to engage with the sweaty Monsieur Crumsford and the company lawyer, Monsieur Lotrin. I am running out of patience.
July 6th, 1924.
Victor has invited me and my wife to his yacht to meet with Messieurs Crumsford and Lotrin. I fully expect my demands to be met and the original recipe restored. Finally, we will get to the bottom of this.
They got to the bottom all right. So the last people to see the Lemoons alive were Fontoul, Lawton, and Crumsford. Those gold brickers have some explaining to do. Enough reading. It's safe deposit box. Guess that wasn't it. It's a receipt from my new bank account. I'm finally moving up my safe deposit box. Safe deposit box number 201. My box is empty. The door is locked.
Sorry, sir. Mr. Crumsford is out at the moment.
Benny, I need to see Victor.
He's headed to the Island Ventures shareholders meeting aboard his yacht. He won't be back for several days.
Thanks, Benny.
Oh, Detective, your landlady called to say there's a letter for you at your office. Also, she said your rent is overdue.
Ah, that's just an inside joke. This must be the letter Benny mentioned. No return address.
Thank goodness. I was about to call an ambulance.
Make it a hearse. I feel like death warmed over. What happened? And what are you doing here, Voodoo Dollface?
I got tired of waiting around and came back to check on the case. I found you lying here on the floor with a note in your hand.
What's it say?
Drop the case, or your brother will have to change his name to Bullet Hole Billy.
Someone's being a little too slick for their own good. Well, they just threatened the wrong Voodoo Detective. I better go check on Billy. Ricky, have you seen Billy?
Oh, hey, VD. I haven't seen him around since he left with Gordon Crumsford. But that was a while ago now.
Billy. They took Billy. They took my brother.
Oh, God. Listen, this is getting out of hand. I think you should drop the case. You can keep the money. I don't want your family getting hurt on my account.
I'm still on the clock, Sugar. You paid me to find out who you are, and that's just what I plan to do. We riled him up good, like a bear clawing a beehive. And this bear's not stopping until he gets some honey.
Okay.
They're gonna wish they never involved my family.
What are you going to do now?
Those Island Ventures crooks are all headed to Victor's yacht. I'd bet anything my brother's there with them. If I'm going to get to the bottom of this, I'll need to find a way aboard that boat.
I can get us onto the yacht. I am Victor's wife, after all.
Us? This isn't a joyride, Voodoo Dollface.
I'm coming with you.
Lady, it's too dangerous and I don't have time to play babysitter. These lowlifes have already shown us they aren't afraid to hurt people.
I'm not your sugar, your sweetheart, or your voodoo doll face. I'm your employer, and I'm not gonna stay cooped up in some stuffy hotel room. Now, you can either get ready and meet me downstairs, or wait here and stew in your little office while I go alone.
All right. You want to risk your neck? That's fine. I won't stop you. We can go get killed together.
That's more like it. Come meet me when you're ready to go. Don't dawdle.
Kid's got more moxie than a crocodile in a handbag factory. I better not make her wait.